Hi, I'm Naomi, and for my myth, I picked the myth of Narcissus and Echo. Its origin is in Greek mythology. So, it starts out with the main Greek god, Zeus. He had a wife, but he would sneak down to Earth every once in a while to fraternize with the human women and imps without his wife's knowledge. And eventually she caught on to this, so she snuck down to Earth after him to catch him in the act. But every time she would do that, this particular imp named Echo would stop her and have this long conversation with her so that she wouldn't be able to catch her husband cheating on her. And eventually she realized this and realized that Echo was helping her husband, so she cursed her so that she could never get the first word but would always get the last. So she could only repeat the last words someone said to her and never talk first. So after this, Echo is one day going through the forest and she runs into this beautiful man, Narcissus, and she falls deeply in love with him. And she wants to talk to him, but she can't speak first. So she just follows after him and watches him from afar. But after a while, he hears her. And he shouts out, "Who's there?" "There," she says back. "Where are you?" "Let me meet you." "Meet," she says. And he sees her behind this tree. And she goes out to meet him because she thinks that he is happy to see her. So she goes and embraces him. But he pushes her away and he's horrified by her. And she's in love with him from first glance. And she's heartbroken that he doesn't like her back. And he's so horrified by her that he runs away and says, "I could never love you. Love you, love you," is all she could say back. And she's so heartbroken that her love is unrequited that she runs away and hides in a forest. And seeing this, the gods above, they see that she's heartbroken, so they curse him. And they don't just curse him because he had broken her heart. They curse him because he had broken multiple people's heart. Multiple humans, imps, gods had fallen in love with him, and no one was good enough for him. So he rejected them all and broke all of their hearts. And this was the last straw for the gods. So they decided to curse him so that he could only fall in love with someone that he could never be with. So after that, the gods make him get lost in the woods. And when he does, he stumbles upon this pond. After hours of being lost in the forest, he goes to this pond to drink of its water, and he looks down in the reflection in the water and sees the most beautiful man he has ever seen, and he immediately falls in love with him. So he goes to touch this man he's just met, and the water ripples and the man disappears, and he realizes that the person that he had just fallen in love with was himself. Someone that he could never have. And he's so grieved by this that he sits there for days just sitting in the reflection. Sitting and looking at the reflection of himself. And he's so depressed that he just withers away, sitting there, looking back at himself. Because he's fallen in love with himself. And after days of this, he starts to die. And with his last breath, he looks at himself in the mirror and says, "You are the only person I will ever love," and dies. Hearing this from her hiding place in a cave, Echo can only say back, "Love, love, love." And then she too dies of grief.